What up, guys? RKO Legend Killer 687 back from my review of the July 2nd, 2010 edition of Smackdown. It was a pretty good show, in my opinion, overall. Obviously a lot more wrestling than there was on Raw this past week, so right there, it's just showed why it's better. It was better, but things started before they even started the show. They showed a video package from last week when Kane pretty much destroyed the Straight Edge Society. And the show opens with Todd Grisham telling us that Kane versus Luke Gallows will happen later in the night. Then things kick off when Jack Swagger comes down to the ring, and Matt Striker just keeps running his mouth about something. I don't even know what it is. All I know is the guy just drives me fucking nuts. It's terrible. Tries way too hard to be a color commentator. Anyway, Swagger comes out, talks about, how last week he wanted to make people suffer, and he wanted people to feel how he felt when he was cheated out of the World Heavyweight title at Fatal 4-Way. And the clip from last week's SmackDown is shown of Swagger putting Big Show in the ankle lock and not letting go and almost snapping his ankle. There's pretty cool seeing someone use the ankle lock again in WWE since Kurt's no longer there. Lots of heat on Swagger from the crowd. And Swagger says, it's funny how people have been talking about Money in the Bank lately. The Money in the Bank ladder match coming up in a few weeks, because that's pretty much how my journey started. Talks about how he won it, the Money in the Bank ladder match at WrestleMania 26, and how he 5 days later, cashed it in to win the World Heavyweight Championship on SmackDown. And then Swagger looks like he's about to start crying. I don't like this. Swagger looking like a bitch. He's like, well, my daddy is so upset he can barely sleep and eat, and he's just heartbroken over it. And I don't know, it's stupid. And then out comes Show, limping a bit. And he starts making fun of Swagger, whining and crying and stuff. And said, Jack, you should have finished the job last week, but you didn't, because I'm still here, I'm still standing, and as long as I'm still standing and breathing, I'm going to keep coming after you. And Show says, I dare you to try and put the ankle lock on me again. And Swagger, talks about how he's going to win back his World Heavyweight Championship at Money in the Bank. And Show says, Jack, you're delusional. You're living in a fantasy, but in reality, I can break your jaw. And he's like, matter of fact, why don't I do that right now? So Show heads down to the ring, and before he can even get to the actual ring itself, Cody Rhodes comes down from behind, takes out Show's ankle. So Show is getting worked on by Swagger and Rhodes. They're just beating the hell out of him, stomping on his ankle. They toss him in the ring, work on his ankle some more, until Rey Mysterio comes down to make the save. So then they announce later tonight it'll be Jack Swagger and Cody Rhodes versus Big Show and Rey Mysterio in the main event. So it looked like it was going to be a good match. And then Grisham and Striker talk about Money in the Bank, and so far the 6 participants are Kane, Matt Hardy, Cody Rhodes, Christian, Kofi Kingston, and Big Show. So that leaves 2 more, which was, I mentioned in my preview, supposed to be for Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. So it'll be interesting to see who they put in those 2 last spots. Probably in the next coming weeks, they'll tell. So then we get the first match coming up in the night, Kofi Kingston versus Dolph Ziggler. So they go to commercial, and then they're back from commercial. They show a replay of what just happened. And then, so out comes Kofi Kingston, and then they show Dolph Ziggler backstage, walking to the ring. And Vicky Guerrero stops him and says, Dolph, if you win tonight, you got an Intercontinental title match coming your way. And Dolph's like, Vicky, I got this. And he kind of looks like, I don't want to talk to you. Get your hands off me, which I'd be the same, too. And Dolph kind of looks distracted. Vicky's like, who are you looking at? And it's Rosa Mendez doing jumping jacks. She's like, hola Dolph, hola Vicky. And Dolph's like, it just looked like he saw like the most beautiful woman in the world, but any halfway decent looking woman you see after being around that mastodon Vicky Guerrero has gotta be good. So anyway, so Vicky comes out with Dolph down to the ring. So the match starts. Um, sorry. Right hands from both guys and right to commercial. Back from commercial, Ziggler's in control. The striker just keeps talking some bullshit. It's driving me absolutely crazy. The guy's a fucking idiot. Sorry, I got Training Day on. It's a fucking great movie. Uh, Crossbody by Kofi gets a 2 count off the top rope. Then Kofi builds some momentum with those chops of his, hits the boom drop, and sets up for Trouble in Paradise. Misses. Dolph Ziggler hits a Famouser. It looks like it's pretty cool. Gets a 2 count. Then Dolph looks at Vicky for a second, and that sure enough, that second cost him. He turns around to Trouble in Paradise from Kofi, gets for the 3 count. So then after the match, Dolph looks at Vicky like disgusted, and he's just shouting some shit at her. I couldn't understand what he was saying, but she walks off. And by the way, Vicky Guerrero had a necklace on that said Cougar, and nothing could be further from the truth. It should have said cow, because that's how fucking appalling that woman is. They're a man beast. Ugh. But and then so after that, the show's backstage, Straight Edge Society talking, and Serena says to Punk, who by the way has his right arm in a sling, and he's like, "Oh man," she's like, "I don't know why I was about to say that," but she's like, Punk, you just have to admit it tonight." Punk's like, "We're not admitting anything," and they talk a little bit more about Undertaker's situation. And it sounded like they were talking about admitting that they did it, and then Luke Gallows comes in and says, Serena, calm down. She's like, "No, I'm not going to." And then Serena just talks about Punk and when he went into surgery last week and how helpless she felt. And she says, to Punk and Gallows, if you guys don't take care of this tonight, I will. And so she walks off, goes to commercial. I don't know exactly what that meant, but back from commercial, and it's the Peep Show. Ladders are just like 3 ladders in the ring. Money in the Bank briefcase hanging above the ring, and Matt Hardy is Christian's guest. And they make fun of Drew McIntyre losing his visa, his visa expiring, which is pretty funny. And then Hardy talks about his journey through WWE, how he and Christian have both, spent over a decade, and the one thing that's eluded them has been the World Heavyweight Championship. This was a great promo, in my opinion. Christian cuts off Matt on the mic and says Christian's gonna win. He's like, "I'm gonna win the Money in the Bank ladder match, SmackDown Money in the Bank ladder match." And Christian says no one deserves it more. No one deserves to win it more than he and Hardy. But he says, unfortunately, it's only one can win it. It's gonna be me, Christian. And then Matt and Christian both climb to the top of the ladder and start talking about like unhooking the briefcase and stuff. And Matt says, I plan on winning this and cashing it in to win the world title." I thought it was a really good promo here, these two. They're just talking about how they both, worked so hard their whole career, and the one title, like I said, they haven't had is the world title. And then Christian said he's sick of seeing people like Drew McIntyre get opportunity after opportunity after opportunity, getting title shots like with that whole Intercontinental title ordeal, and how he kept trying to get to the world title. And Christian says, but now it's his time. And they both said at the same time on their mics, they both said I'm gonna win the Money in the Bank ladder match. And then Hardy, the segments of Hardy threw Christian into one of the ladders, and then Hardy walked off. Like I said, I thought it was good stuff. So commercial, and then back from commercial. It's another one of those promos from Dusk Carras Jr., a.k.a. his character is Alberto Del Rio. And I guess his character is supposed to be like a wealthy Mexican because they showed like a beautiful house he was in. And he claims to be the only real honest man. So it's good stuff there. But I'm coming to the end of this video, guys, so stick around for part 2.